What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, welcome to Friday's episode. So, if you have not done so already, please go back and listen to Monday and Tuesday were our topics. So, Monday we talked about Xfinity and their data breach impacting 36 million customers, including Shannon. And then Tuesday, we talked about how the U.S. Government is basically flipping the switch on anything that touches the economy. Like it says, pulling all levers to face new cyber threats. They really mean it this time. So they're legitimately going through all of the different sectors and making sure people are compliant and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Big government push for regulation. So definitely tune in for that one. And then on Wednesday's discussion, we go over Rite Aid and its bum facial recognition, how it's misidentifying blacks, Latinos, and Asian people, making them seem as though they're likely shoplifters. So again, AI will take us all out, but could be done better, and we discussed kind of our thoughts on that and what Rite Aid is doing wrong, or at least their vendor was doing wrong. And then I don't know what the throwback is for this week. I have not really brainstormed it yet, but this week we'll have a throwback, and then in the new year, so like mid-January to end of January, I'll have on Darren King to talk all things CMMC 2.0, and then I also have on Jeff Lodick, friend of the show, to discuss what he's been up to. First time he'll be on, and the show's been running for what, almost 4 years? So definitely tune in for that one. And then, more guests down the road. So I suspect 2024 is going to be a really cool year for the podcast. So definitely tune in for all that stuff. But without further ado, Merry Christmas, Shannon. Happy New Year. Uh, how you been doing? How's your week?
Same to you, man. Merry Christmas, Happy
Appreciate it.
New Year to you, man. But yeah, I actually watched a lot of stuff this week. Actually,
Okay.
I had to make a list. As I started going through stuff, I was like, yo, let me write this stuff up. So like some old stuff too, right? Like I went and watched some old stuff that I already seen because I was like, man, I ain't seen that in a minute. But one of the first things I watched, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So it was the second one. Did not like it. Did not like it, man. Like I
I thought
remember
you already saw it. This is the first time you've seen it?
the second one. Yeah, I've seen the first one,
Okay.
but I had not seen the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not definitely like I thought. I was expecting at least as good as the first one. Nah.
No, I don't know, and I can't put my finger on why it was bad. Like I chuckled a little bit, when Venom is talking to him, when
Yeah.
him and Brock is that his name are having their little back and
Yeah.
forth, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I chuckled at that, right? Because like some of the stuff he would say, I was like, oh man, that's kind of funny. But I don't know, for the most part, it just seemed rushed and not good. The end
Yeah.
credit scene, like if I'd have seen it before, I'd have been like, oh, okay. I can't remember. That had to have come out before the last Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
So
I believe so. Yeah.
they were kind of
Yeah, I believe so.
alluding to that, like, what was going on there as well. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But I haven't already seen Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, I get where they're going there. It didn't get my anticipation up for the Spider-Man that I'd already seen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Exactly.
But yeah, that wasn't that great. But so I do not recommend.
It seems to be all of the Sony stuff. Like, because I only watched half of Morbius, and I was just like, this is garbage. Couldn't even finish it. I got to at least get, I guess, the mid-credit scene or the end credit scene or whatever. But like, the Craven doesn't look like it's going to be any good. It seems to be only their animation and things that Marvel has a heavy hand on.
Yeah.
All of their solo projects, like I'm not expecting much out of Madam Web, unfortunately. That does not look good. So I don't know. Sony Spider-Verse outside of games and animation, I don't know.
More miss than hit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Like, I don't get it. Um, but I don't know. That's what we're given, right? So if we keep going to watch it, they won't change anything. And the thing is, Marvel is kind of going downhill a little bit for me too. So I can't complain about that. Although I will get to that. Like some stuff they have come out with it, I'm like, okay, I like this now. Second season, but a little foreshadowing. But uh,
gotcha.
but TV series called This Fool. I don't know if you ever seen this. The second
No,
season. came out. Yeah, this dude in L.A., Hispanic dude, just doing his life, man, and it's hilarious to me. His cousin is a fool. His cousin is hilarious. He kind of makes the show, but yeah, he used to work in the first season. He worked at this place called Hugs Not Thugs, and so what it was like kind of like a halfway house for these uh ex-convicts, right? And it was them getting better and getting put back out into society. And it's got what's his name? Michael Imperioli was cousin Chris from The Sopranos.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Minister Payne in it. Is his name? He's the minister that started this program, but like he's not what you think of when you think of a minister, right? Like so, he's almost Chris from Sopranos. You know,
Okay.
it's funny, but yeah, the second season I watched through that. That was pretty funny. I liked it. Uh, but yeah, that's one worth watching. If anybody gets a chance to watch that, this TV series Bookie on Max about this guy who is a bookie, right?
Right.
And different things that happen to him, and it's kind of hit or miss. They have some episodes where some funny stuff happens, and then some where you're just like, that's just not believable at all. Like I get it's fiction and whatnot, but it's like if you're trying to be real about what a bookie's life is, like yeah, some of this stuff just won't happen, you know. But it's on Max, so it's has its ups and downs. So it's good to watch. Give it a shot. Um, Shang-Chi was one of the old ones I watched. I was like, man, I ain't seen this in a minute. I was like, yeah, it's still pretty good. You know what I mean?
I
Fight.
need to go back to it. Yeah. I've not I don't think I've watched it more than twice. It's good. I think I've only watched it twice.
Yeah. That's
I
well,
haven't gone back yet.
I mean, that's good though. You got two watches, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that's a good thing. But yeah, that's a good one. Shang-Chi, Black Panther. I watched that one, the first one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, let me see some more Chadwick. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just
Right, right. So I
uh
ask you a question, not to derail you.
oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did not watch the new Cat Williams. I don't know if it's out yet. I don't believe it's out yet, but I heard some clips from it, right, or on social media or whatever. And I think he brings up a good point. Um, why did they not recast it? Like I remember like in the moment I didn't want them to recast it either. I was like, like this character was Chadwick Boseman. He embodied the character and what have you. But through his comedy, he brings up a good point where he's like, why do they only kill off our superheroes? Like, they're like Superman, Christopher Reeves, like unfortunately he became paralyzed and then later on he died. But Superman has been recasted 5, 6 times in at least our childhood to adulthood. So I think he brings up a good point. Like, yeah, I think they should recast uh T'Challa only be just to keep the character going. And like you said, you're going to allude to something that has a season two where there is a recast, right? But it seems to only be an animation. Like I think they're going to let him just be gone in the MCU until it's rebooted, and I kind of think they shouldn't any longer. I think I'm changed my mind. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think they are going to do it though. Like the whole multiverse thing, like even though they said what they said and they're like, hey, we're going to leave it be, we're going to honor
Hmm.
this, that, and the third. I think they're going to recast it, is what's going to happen.
Okay.
It's going to get to a point where they're like, okay, we need to put something else out that people want to see. And that's going to be one of them. It's going to be another Black Panther, right? So
Right.
uh, I haven't watched the movie. I mean, they got some up and coming stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Uh, but I don't know. I just think they will. I don't believe a lot of these companies when they say they're going to do things now. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't.
Right, right. And I mean, yeah, like you said, they could use the multiverse to make it make sense. Because I like that they lean towards the lineage, right? Like they had like not no spoilers because some people have not watched Wakanda Forever, but they're trying to keep it in universe and make it make sense. But I kind of want a full recast now. Like now, give me another Black Panther. Like I know they can't do it right now, but like you said, maybe when they start to hopefully lean into the multiverse. But now with the whole Anthony Majors thing, Jonathan Majors thing, I should say, I just combined him and Anthony Mackie together. Um, but with the whole Jonathan Majors thing, like they may just pivot away from it. Maybe I don't know. No,
So I,
so maybe they won't pivot away from it, but they're definitely gonna pivot away from Kang. I think they wrapped it up with a bow. I think that's
so that
done.
that's what they said, right? So like again, like you'll read articles where they're like, "Hey, we're not pursuing this storyline."
Yeah.
I don't see how you go away from it. Like you wrapped up a series, right? Like you
Mhm.
that was with Kang, right? Like you've already brought him in with Ant-Man and Quantumania. Like you haven't killed him off. You know what I mean? Like you
So
just do it off
right.
screen.
So I think they are. I think they're gonna kill him off screen. Like and again, I think that goes into like even as a villain, like I think they should just recast him. Like I was like I again I think I moved quicker on that than I did the Chadwick Boseman. Because I think because of circumstance, right? Like one apples and oranges, the way they're going out. Um but with the Jonathan Majors thing, like I think he was the perfect actor for it, and he did a really good job. That's only because that's what I saw. Like he knocked it out the park immediately. Now we need to find somebody else who can knock it out the park, to keep Kang around. It would be what I want, but I think Disney's going to completely pivot because if you watch Loki season two, and again, not trying to spoil anything, but I think that they saw the writing on the wall. Like even though he's involved in the show and he's a prominent character and whatever, the way they end that series, they could pivot if they wanted to. So,
No, I'm that's why I think I don't know. I don't believe what they say anymore, right? Like money is gonna talk, right? And if, as Disney says, they're not gonna be so willy-nilly with their money and doing all these other series that are just
yeah,
not performing well, like you're gonna put more money into what you know worked for you, right? And that worked. You know what I mean? Like this whole Kang Dynasty thing, like that was working. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
know,
it's true. Yeah,
you know what
but
I'm
they
saying?
they they said that. So again, we're going off rumors. They already said that it's no longer called like that. That Avengers is now just Avengers 5. Like the working title has been changed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like uh, it might be Doctor Doom and the mutants. That might be where they pivot to.
But Doctor Doom is something they can still have. Like you can have more than one big bad. You know what I
That's
mean?
true too. Yeah,
Every movie that came out had a different villain, you know what I mean? Like when it came to Marvel, right? Tony wasn't fighting the same villains that Thor was, or you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like it can happen and you can have both of them, right? And maybe eventually one of them kill off the other one, right? Like if they really want to be done with it, they could make that happen. But um you can definitely recast with the multiverse thing. Like it leaves you so open to things. Like I hope they I hope they execute better than they have in the past with some of this multiverse stuff. Because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness or whatever
yeah.
that
I really so I'm it's crazy. Like I'm being a revisionist of history. I enjoyed it when it came to the theater because of all of the stuff that was in it. But
Mhm.
now I never rewatched it.
Because you didn't really enjoy it. That's why.
I think it was because of the people and the excitement and like the cameos. But I never went back.
Me either. Me either. I have not watched it since it's been on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I came across it when I was looking at all these other ones. And I was like, nah. I was like, I could watch something new, but no. You know what I mean? Yes. But
So we'll
yeah,
see, but yeah, I hope that they now I'm in the seat of I hope they recast and bring back Black Panther, just to keep that legacy going, to keep that character going. But I mean they are using them in other things, so we'll see what the future holds. But now I also want them to keep Kang. This
yeah,
can't be Jonathan Majors. Like now they gotta move on from him. But I think the hardest part is going to be to find somebody who's going to be that versatile. Like when you saw the Council of Kangs and you saw him playing like a billion different characters,
yeah.
you're like, man, he's gonna crush it. Like who else can do that? So hopefully they find somebody else who can do
I think they will. Just don't believe them. Do not believe what they tell
that. Don't believe Marvel.
you. Don't believe what they tell
Don't believe the lies.
you. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Don't
But
believe the hype. Ooh.
but so not so back to Shannon. I don't mean to distract you.
You're good, man. You're good. Um, so Black Panther, watch that one. As good as I remember it being.
Yeah.
Black Widow, watch that one. I don't know. I was just in a black theme that day. I don't know. I watched those back to back too, Black Panther and then Black Widow. And yep, like that one too. Reacher. Reacher still kind of up and down for me.
Okay.
So I got caught up on the series because they're just doing one a week now, right? They're not dropping them all at once like they used to. Thanks, Puritans. But but yeah, that one is, I don't know, man. Like I wanted more action and like I'm all for the detective work and whatnot, but the way that they're going about it is they're doing too much of outright explaining to me, like I don't
Mm.
understand what's going on. You know what I mean? And there are some times where that may be needed, right? Because just like, what are y'all doing here? You know what I mean? But in this one, no, you can just go about doing it. But and just some of the dialogue seems cheesy when they're doing it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hit or miss. But
Mm.
when they start throwing down, I'm like, oh, I'm all for that. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Starts kicking the front of cars, making airbags go off and whatnot. You know, it's like, oh gosh, okay. But yeah. So that I'll keep watching, right? Because I'm vested. I'm invested at this point. So I'll keep watching it. But yeah, I'd like for it to be a little different. So here's one that has recently been coming up as in these days and times is one of those things where it's like, could this get made today if they did it today? And it made me go back and watch it. Tropic Thunder. So
Oh
I'm
no.
seeing Tropic Thunder. Yeah, like I don't think it could be made today. I don't like if they try to do it again today. But I went back and I
Right.
watched it and I was like, the execution was good on what they were doing. You know what I mean? And I hate to say that, right, because of how it comes off. And the part we're talking about for anybody who has not seen it is you have Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface is pretty
Yeah.
much what it is, right? Well, it's black body, right? Because he's like very method and like he has a transplant that goes and darkens his skin, but and then his mannerisms and how he acts and whatnot. But I don't know, man. Like I can't explain why it doesn't upset me. You know what I mean?
It's so well done.
Yeah.
That's it. Robert Downey Jr. Like it cannot be made. Like so it has been made again. Not Tropic Thunder specifically, but both Robert Downey Jr. and um uh oh man, singer comedian Jamie Foxx. Both of them said that they did a film. Like there's a film and they're all playing different races and it's been shelved. It's been made years ago. They said they made it a couple years ago and it's just been sitting because basically Jamie Foxx said that uh everything's too hypersensitive and we have to wait for basically like the tone of uh the America to get a little bit softer, to not be um as offended, and then they potentially it will be released. But they said it's already in the can. They did it. I think Robert Downey Jr. Alluded to the fact that he's playing like he's either Hispanic or Mexican or something like that in the movie. So it's been created.
See, and here's the thing, like if we wait that long, it'll be posthumous for one of these guys. You know what I mean? Like they won't be
Yeah,
around anymore to see it released. Like if we're waiting that long, and I get it. I'm not insensitive to it, right? I do understand it, but you gotta, I don't know. With comedies, you just gotta expect some things to where feelings are going to get hurt, right? Like if you're waiting for nobody to be offended by it being released, it will never be released. That's just how it is, right?
right.
So I don't know. I would like to see that, right? Jamie Foxx and then see Robert Downey Jr. do it again because his execution in Tropic Thunder was
Yeah,
excellent.
I it made me laugh when I saw the poster. That's how funny. Like just he's a excellent entertainer. And he did it well. Like it's been done not well so frequently that I don't even know what made him attempt because that could have went so wrong. So so because when I saw the poster, I stared at it. Like I literally I was in an AMC. I walked by the Tropic Thunder poster and I stopped and I stared at it and I was like, something is not right. And I can't figure it out. And you know how you just look at an image and you're just like, what is weird here? And I was like, is that Robert Downey Jr. looking like somebody's uncle? I was like, oh man, this movie's gonna be crazy. But I never thought in my head that it was a different time, right? I never thought in my head like, oh, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna be pissed by watching this. And I went in there, watched it, it was funny, I kept it rolling. But yeah, now, no. I'm surprised it didn't get retroactively canceled, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
and that's the thing is that I have watched other series. Like I watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's 5 episodes from that series that have been taken out of rotation on Hulu because they have them doing blackface, right?
Mm.
They do a they do a reenactment of Lethal Weapon, right? But they're all white, so somebody has to be Murtaugh, right?
Oh my God.
And in one of them, multiples of them are Murtaugh. It's just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, right? So like I get it, I understand it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it
Yeah,
was funny to me. Like I watched it again and I was like, yeah, as funny as I remember it being, you know what I mean?
right, right. Yeah, because you have the box set, so you can always reach back. I can't take that from you. You have physical media.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think it's all about it's execution and intent, right? Like some people do things to be malicious, and other people can execute well. I think if you're thoughtful, right? Because you already know going out the bat, like, oh, this could be really bad for me. So I need to make sure I do the best job possible. Um, for whatever type of laugh you're trying to get out of it. Because yeah, it could be career ending for you if you do it bad. And I, Robert Downey Jr. did it excellently. He pulled
So
it off.
and so you got to remember, like, so as I was thinking about this, like this came out right before Iron Man. So this was before he resurrected his career.
Yeah.
So he could have been at the end and was like, you know what, forget it. If it happens, it happens. Not like I'm working regularly anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Like now he might be like, nah, I can't.
I cannot risk that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm getting percentages of the gross now when I make movies. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
he's not he may not be for it. But if he did, but here's the thing: if he did that one with Jamie Foxx already, like he thought about it, like he was already well into the Marvel. You know what I mean?
hmm
Um,
Yeah. But the studio also thought about it, and they're like, no.
yeah, yeah.
Like, nope, absolutely not. He did it so well, it's become part of meme culture. You know how many Jonathan Majors memes I've seen where they just replace his face with Rob Downey Jr. from Prop Thunder's face? You're like, it's been done before, we can do it again. Like it's memeable because
Yeah.
he executed very well. But a lot of people are like either they're not going to get a chance to, like people are going to cancel him before it even comes out, they'll just see it and be like, no, I'm offended and outraged, or they just won't execute well. Like we've seen it be bad, and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Like you should not have done this. So it's he did something that I don't think can be ever executed as well again. I just don't see another actor able to do that well.
It was very well acted. Very well acted. It's just like what?
The entire character, like not just that aspect of the character, but like
Yeah.
when he was coming out of his method acting, I was like, yo, this dude is brilliant. He's playing like five characters right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like he has a scene as I watched it again, right? So it's fresh in my mind. When he first takes them out to the jungle, right? The director, and he asks for their cell phones. He puts them in the helmet and is gonna dump water on them. And,
Yeah.
and he's like, everybody, put your cell phones in here. He goes, nah, man. He's like, wasn't no cell phones in 69. I'm legit head to toe. That's what he said. I'm legit head to toe. I was like, you're a white dude playing a black dude. Like, how are you legit? How are you legit head to toe? Like, it made me laugh. It made me laugh harder. But I was
Right.
like, "Ooh, I'm legit head to toe." Like he was very proud when he said it. I'm legit head to toe.
I got to go back and watch it. I have to watch it again.
It's funny, man. It is
Yeah.
hilarious. But
Tropic Thunder. Like
yeah.
and then it's the other character, right? There's the oh, what's his name? What's the actor's name? He's playing the mentally challenged character.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Ben Stiller.
Ben
Yeah,
Stiller. Like that would not be possible right now.
yeah,
Like that would not be uh able to execute on that. Like the whole cast, like everybody did an amazing job. Like
yeah.
like that movie should not be as good as it is. And it's a classic. It's a classic.
Directed by Ben Stiller too. Like I
Yeah.
forgot that. I was like, oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah. Tom
Yeah.
and even Tom Cruise is less Sneed or Snitterman or whatever his name.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
Like when I first watched that movie, like I did not realize it was him until the credits.
hmm
Like they said it in the credits, and I was like, "What?" And now I just can't unsee it. I'm like, "Yeah, that looks like
Right.
Tom. How
Yeah,
did
it
I
looks
not
like
know?"
Tom Cruise,
You
right?
know, like how did I not know? You know,
Yeah. Well, I was the same boat. Yeah, I was in the same boat.
yeah, and that's one of those roles where I'm just like, I did not like if you'd have had a studio executive that was like jumping off mountains and out of planes, I'd be like, yeah, that's Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like that's what
Yeah.
it is. It's Mission Impossible stuff, but it was hilarious to me, man. He was just cussing up a storm. He was getting at people. Like when he cusses out the flaming dragon, like he's cussing them out, like he's getting at him, and then he hangs up the phone. He was like, "Find out who that was." Like he didn't even know he was talking. It made me laugh. It made me laugh. But as that movie is classic, I'll always love it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, enough about that though. So let's see. I got a few more on here. Let's see. John Wick, man, I had to go back to watching John Wick.
That's
Uh,
frustrating me. Like all the John Wick stuff is it on Max? It's on something. No,
I
it's not on Max. It's on Paramount.
I watched it on Peacock, I
It's a
think.
Peacock. Okay, so all the John Wick stuff is on Peacock. except for the current movie, which is on Stars. I'm
Yeah.
not getting another app. I'm not gonna do it. Put all his content on one thing, so I have not watched the latest. Can't. I refuse to pay for Stars. I refuse. They already got me on Peacock. I tried to cancel Peacock. Remember, I was getting it for 99 cents. And I was like, oh, I'm going to cancel it once it comes full price. And now they're putting the bills on Peacock
I
for
saw
the
that
Saturday night
last night.
game.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was like, I legitimately was about to cancel, and then I saw the game pop up. I'm like, I cannot cancel you because I have to watch this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't find it at first. Like I knew it was happening. Like I went to ESPN and I was like, where is this at? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And then I was like, Peacock. Like, why is Peacock at this? I don't know.
random. It's so random. Like the NFL is making their money.
Yeah. But like that's NBC though, right? Peacock is NBC. So I'm like, why not put on? I have Hulu Live that has NBC. Why not put it on there? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand the logic behind it. But again, like there's probably the NFL saying, yeah, we'll help you get more
Mhm.
subscriptions. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I didn't even stay up for that game. Like I was in bed early, so I saw your thing this morning where you said you were.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh,
Nail biter. Like, why do we keep playing to the level of our opponents? How the Dallas blows them out, then we blow out Dallas, and then we only win by two versus the Chargers. And it was a hard fought two to get there. Hard fought. Like
like
we should just be slinging on these dudes or running the ball over them. Like they're just like how are they able to keep within arm's reach? And not only that, but they led. Wait, like I guess we trailed. Yeah, we trailed them for
yeah.
the majority of the first half.
Yeah, it was 10-0 when I first saw it. I was at the Chargers. I was like, oh my God. I was like, am I gonna want to reach out to Ryan here? Like, I'm not gonna say anything. And then like the next time I checked it, it was 14-10. I was like, oh, okay, they came back. I was like, they're going back to what we know. And then
Right.
like I said, I didn't finish the game, but when I saw the final score, I was like, what? I was like, how is it only 2 points? But
Yeah.
hey, I'm familiar with that, man. Ravens do the same thing. Like we play a good team, like a team, say a team is up in their division, like we just trounce them, right? You only gonna score 3 points. Like that's what we do. And then all of a sudden we're getting beat by the Colts, like
Right.
without their starting running back and quarterback. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's
Don't
just
get it.
look past them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But so now I unfortunately have to root for America's team because I need them to beat the Dolphins. So
Yeah,
because we back in it, baby. Like
yeah.
we needed that W bad. So yeah, now I need the Dallas to basically dust off that loss and demolish the Dolphins, please. That's what I need. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just for me, I feel a little bit differently, right? Like so, I mean, I wouldn't mind the Dolphins losing, just put them farther down in the AFC, right? So we can kind of pad our lead. But we got a tough game coming up on Christmas. We got to play the Niners. I still think we can pull it out, right? Because they're a
mm,
good team, right? So we step up for the good teams, but it's like they got a lot going for them. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They got a lot going for them. So I don't know. I don't want to fall back a game and then Miami wins and then actually, if they win, actually, no, they might be 2 games behind us now. No, they got 10 wins. I don't know. What I think they
Yeah, I think
come,
they have 10-5, I think is what their record is currently.
it's got to be four. It's got to be four because this is week 16, right?
Yeah.
So
Right. So yeah, it should be
this
ten
will be,
four.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
So
this will
if they
be
win,
hopefully, yeah.
if they win, they might take control of the AFC again. So I hope they don't. So yeah, yeah, go big blue. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Only time I root for Dallas. It's in my favor. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how the games play out. I'm hoping I have a Merry Christmas. It doesn't end terribly, right? Because it's the last game.
Mhm.
We're playing the last game
You
on
just
Christmas.
you just punch the tree,
We're like,
kick it over.
just start kicking
Like
stuff in the house.
traumatic mememories for the kids, kicking presents.
Yeah, it doesn't like Christmas for some reason. This is less celebrated anymore. Last there, no, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. There might be kids watching. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah. So John Wick, um, watch that one. Still good. Stuber. I don't know if you ever seen Stuber. It's
Is
got.
it- I've heard of it. I've never watched it though.
It's kind of funny. So it's got
Because this Owen Wilson, is that Stuber?
no. What's his name? The wrestler Dave Bautista, right? Played Drax,
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
him and
Yeah.
Camille Nanjani. Nanjiani before he got big, before he was an Eternal, right? So
Right.
he's an Uber driver, and his name is Stu, so he's called him Stuber. But Bautista's he's a police officer who's trying to investigate this case, but he had LASIK surgery the day that he gets a lead, so he can't see anything. So he needs this guy to drive for him, and he like kind of kidnaps him to drive for him all day.
Right.
It's an Uber, right? So everywhere you go in an Uber, they charge you for that. So he gets the bill at the end, and it's like $5,500 or something like that, something crazy. And he's like, "Oh my gosh!" But yeah, it's a funny movie, man. It's a comedy. And it's kind of funny. So I had seen it before, and I was just like, I ain't seen that in a minute. Let me go ahead and watch that. And my wife was actually down here with me, so I was like, I can't watch some of the stuff I would normally watch. She would think differently of me. You know what I mean? Like, well, how are you watching this? So
Right.
I watched something that was comedic. You know what I mean? Um, then what else did I watch? Beverly Hills Cop was the other
Oh,
thing.
okay. You went back?
The first one, like after seeing that trailer, man, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I should probably go watch all of them. You know what I mean? But like, I know the third one is not good though. You know what I mean? So
Not.
like,
It's
I have to
not.
watch the second one and the third one. I'll be like, I'll be struggling to get through this. But I'm like, I gotta get the story because I don't know how they're gonna do it with this other one that's coming out on Netflix next year, right? But that
Yeah.
trailer was off the chain. I was like, yo, I was like, this is crazy. But like, so as I think about it though, right? Next year will have been, I want to say, 40 years since the first Beverly Hills Cop came out.
Hmm.
So you're telling me this guy's been a cop for 40 years? Like, what is the time frame here? Like, what are we saying is the time frame here? Like,
Oh,
isn't
maybe.
he still a police officer?
Right. Maybe they'll make it make like logical sense, like make time really pass by, like he's either retired or he got kicked off the force, but we need you to come back for whatever reason.
Maybe. I don't know. The action that's in it, like I don't even expect him to do that action. Like you're 60 years old at this point. Like
It's
you're
crazy.
in your 60s. Like
Yeah.
you're not you're not shooting guns and going over tables and diving over stuff. Like it's
I
not.
mean, they had Picard out there with the body double. Like I was like, man, like this dude's a national treasure. Like don't don't do any of your own stunts, please.
You cannot break him. You know what I
Right.
mean? You cannot break him. But yeah, Beverly Hills Cop um was another one that I watched. And then the last one I have, What If Season 2.
Hmm.
I
What do you
like
think?
I like it. I've only watched the first two of the three, and they're coming
Yeah.
out. It looked like it said they're coming out one every day.
Yep.
They're releasing one every day. So there's three of them out there. And I've only watched the first two, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty good, man." Like, and I'm not a Blade Runner. Like, I was not a
Yeah.
fan of a Blade Runner, but like, I liked that first episode that had that Blade Runner vibe to it. You know what I mean? But just the way they went about it. And again, these are 30 minutes, right? So they got to smash a lot into that 30 minutes.
Yeah, they move really fast. And I was like, that's not, it's to their credit. I was like, because they'll do a bunch of quick exposition, kind of like to give you a frame of what's happening, and then it just off to the races. I'm like, it's not bad.
Yeah. No, it was good. I liked it. So I'm not complaining about it. But yeah, good for the first two. I'll probably watch that third one probably today. And
Yeah.
then actually is a fourth one coming out today? I don't know.
No, today will be the third one because it started on 22nd.
So because I
So
watched it early this morning. I watched it really early this morning. Um, so I was like, okay, yeah, I forgot that was out. So okay,
yeah.
so yeah. All right. So tomorrow then I'll get another one.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, and I like the format they're releasing it, over the holiday break. Everybody should be pretty settled in, right?
yeah.
And then just one after the other after the other. So I'm like, okay, like I don't have to wait 9 weeks, just 9 days. Like, so if this could be the model going forward, that'd be great, right? Like if this could be the in between, like okay, you can't give me a dump, but you're not gonna make me wait 7 weeks, right? Just give me 7 days.
I
Drop
think
one each day.
I think they're trying to get you back into the fold because
Yeah,
Marvel's flopping, right? So like because Marvel's flopping, they're like, no, 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 we're not gonna make you wait. Come back into the fold. We'll release
yeah,
something every day. And then once they're back on top again, they'll be like, no, every week for you. It's like, you got me. You brought me back, and you did this to me. But that's pretty much what I took in this week, man. How about you?
so What If season two, really enjoying it. I'm gonna watch the third episode later today because all the presents are wrapped and all that stuff. So like we don't have much going on. And then I want to say because I've been holding on to a lot of content. So uh, non-Christmas present is we finally got a TV upgrade. It's headed this way. So I've not figured out how I'm going to if I'm going to have something else mounted, if I'm going to mount it, don't know yet. But it'd be my first premium TV in 15 years, I want to say. I had a Panasonic Plasma when I was in Alaska. It's like 50 inch, 55 inch, um, which had a fatal flaw. So 2 years in, it after it came out of warranty, all of the inky blacks turned gray. So the TV really became a dud after that. But then I had TCLs and other Vizios and things of that nature ever since. So now I'm finally stepping back into the premium TV space. So I've been holding on to a lot of content, right? So I've been like, I'll flip through like, oh, I want to watch this. I'm like, I can hold on to that though. So I can see it on the new set. Um, so primarily, I watched What If 'cause I couldn't hold out like again, at least one every day. Um, and then I've been watching Squid Game. So live action Squid Game really good. Like I know it's not your thing, uh, but they're doing a really good job of reenacting the TV show. Like obviously nobody's getting shot in real life, but they have like die packs. So as they fail challenges, it goes off. So they did the first episode was red light, green light, like just like on the TV show. And like you just see these people running across the field, and then if they don't stop in time, the pack blows up. And they're following certain characters because they in post production they know who made it, who didn't make it, right? So they lead you on to make you fall for a character, and then but unfortunately or fortunately, some of those characters they've been tracking, like I'm on episode 4 or 5. Some of those characters I thought were going to be surely in the finals, killing them off. So I'm just like, yo, like I could have sworn this dude was gonna make it, and he didn't make it. You got people crying. You got people like this one dude has really, you could tell he's very anxious. Like he has a lot of anxiety. So they made him a leader for something, and like he's just dry heaving. Like he just cannot deal with pressure. I'm just like, you're making me sick. Like, or you just see people just burst into tears, like they just can't take it. Like, this is too much pressure for him. I was like, oh, I'm loving it. I am loving it. Um, I'm watching with my youngest, actually. So, because there's no real violence, right? Like when the dye packs go off, they're black ink, not red ink. And he seems to be very like his favorite character got eliminated last night. He was mad. He was like not 432 because they all have their numbers. I'm like, yeah, he had to go. He got too cocky, and then he got eliminated. But and they remixed it, right? Like so, there's certain games they're playing that were on the TV show, and they're doing it in different orders. Like the characters think that they know, like the not characters, the people think that they know what's next. Like they're like, oh, it's gonna be tug of war, and it wasn't tug of war. It was actually Battleship, which was not on the TV show. At least I don't remember it being on the TV show. Um, and it's just a Squid Games version of Battleship. So. I'm really been liking it, and it's not something that has to be in the best of high definition. So I'm okay with watching it right now. But I've been saving like Rebel Moon. I really want to watch that on Netflix. I can't watch it yet. I have to wait. I have to watch it on the new set when it
The new
comes.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, when it arrives. I can't watch that right now. Uh, I was gonna start Castlevania. Now I gotta hold on to that. I can't watch that right now. Um, and then there was another Netflix joint that dropped. And I was just like, I really want to watch it, but I gotta wait. Gotta see it in the best HDR possible. Um, so hopefully that'll be later next week. I'll be able to put it on the wall. But again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna chance to put it up myself or might have somebody else put it up. I just really wish I could use the mount that's up there. Um, but I don't want to gamble. The things fall right off the wall. And then I gotta move it upstairs. Like again, I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. Like the current TV is big as hell. I gotta get it upstairs in the bedroom. So that's gonna be a challenge.
I mean, you got a young back in the house right now that can help you with that, man. You're a teenager. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but like the thing is getting it in the wall. Like
oh,
I'm not afraid of the carrying it. I'm afraid of it ripping the drywall or I'm breaking a stud. So I'm just like, oh
that t
no.
that TV ain't heavy enough to break no stud, man. Like if you get it there, like you'll be okay. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm gonna brainstorm it today because it's not that big of a chore, and I put the rest of them up. I didn't put the one in the living room up, but I put all the rest of the TVs around the house up. So far, nothing's knock on wood, nothing's fallen off the wall or or what have you, have caused any major damage. Um, but yeah, just I'm getting I'm full homeowner mode, right? Like I don't want to damage nothing. I don't put no holes in these walls. Uh, but I am excited to watch the new content. But that's my goal. Like as soon as it goes up, it'll be Rebel Moon, and a few others I have like ready to go to experience them. And I've been playing that God of War. So God of War Valhalla, God of War Ragnarok, Valhalla. I think I'm almost near the end. I think it's a pretty easy roguelike, to be honest with you. It has a lot of really good story in there. So if you're a fan of the series, like the entire series, like as they go back to the original God of Wars and they talk about some stuff that happened, I was like, that's really clever as a plot device to go through all of Kratos' past. But you can't one shot it basically. Like you can't like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm so good at the God of War combat, I'm gonna go through the entire game and beat it, because it will stop you. Just because it's like you haven't got enough narrative, so you haven't got to a point where you can get to the final bad because you haven't basically figured out what it means to be the God of War yet. So start you back over. So that's part of the plot device. Um, is to get all the narrative before you beat the boss. I think I've almost got all the narrative, I believe. It feels as though I'm going to get back to the boss again, and he's going to finally let me go through the door. Because like you beat the boss, and then there's a door. Every time I get to the door, Kratos has like either you die and you wake up on the beach and you're on your back, and Mimir's like, okay, let's do it again. It's part of the process. Or in this case, he'll grab his head, like he'll start hearing like this loud, high-pitched noise, and then he'll wind up on the beach like that. It's like, and the Valkyries will respond like, okay, you didn't die that time. Uh, like something else must have happened to you. So it's like, okay, let's do it again. Um, so I think you would enjoy it because you really like the God of War combat. It really makes you do other things. Like as you're picking, because when you wind up on the shore, you get to pick your shield, you get to pick your different attributes, and then as you're going through opening chests, you kind of pick a lane. Like, okay, I want to max out this, or I want to max out that, and you kind of go that direction, and it kind of steers you as well. Like it'll make certain things like have a certain gleam to them. It's like, okay, they kind of want me to use this shield, this rage or wrath or whatever, like this combination for whatever reason will get me more points. So, and those points could be, you can buy things that are more permanent. Because as you upgrade throughout the run, so to speak, certain things you will not retain. You lose those when you wind back up on the shore. But other things you can buy that'll keep you going for longer. So like now I have resurrection stones, so I can die twice on my run, um, which comes in handy because sometimes I'll get greedy because you can either meet the objective or you can go past the objective. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm doing a real good run. I'm gonna go past the objective, and then you wind up in a boss fight. You be like, yo, this was a mistake. I'm gonna lose everything on this run because I got greedy. But now I have two stones. So
See, but that's what I don't like though, right? So like I became proficient at some things, right? Like don't make me use like so maybe it's the spear, right? When I want to use the
yeah,
chance, you know what I mean? Like now you put
and
me
you
at like
can, but like it'll they remix the bosses or the mini bosses to make you use certain weapons. You're like,
mm,
okay, you can't use your axe on this guy. It's gonna take forever. Like when you should be using your chains or you should be using the spear. So they make you remix it with the character types, and they mix and match those as well. Like so you'll run across uh uh what do they call it? You'll have like a fight with elves and with the barbarians sometimes, or you know what I mean? Like they have different enemy mixes to make you switch weapons in midst of combat. And then you can also up your own challenges. Like you'll come across um statues that allow you to, like there's like my favorite one is like it'll give you challenges. It'll be like, okay, trip 9 enemies. So you're like, okay, to make that happen, I'm gonna have to switch to my axe. This is easier than using like a spear or something else to trip an enemy. Or you can give up something like, okay, like for the next so many encounters, I'm gonna be more susceptible to this certain type of enemy, or I'm going to lose this certain attribute. But then after I win that challenge, I'll get a boost, or I'll get more of the currency because of it. So it's it's fun. It's a trial type situation. Usually I skip those in God of War. Like I'll get to the end of the game, I'm like, I'm not going back to that. But in this case, because it's so tied to the narrative, it actually is making me do it. And I probably like honestly, I may go back and play God of War again. Like I might go back and play New Game Plus. Because like I feel like I've used a lot of things I've never used before and I've gotten kind of proficient at them. So
Mm, maybe. I don't know, man.
yeah,
I,
so I'd say just
I,
give it a run. Like literally the runs are like maybe like for you probably to get to the final boss or whatever and choose your paths. Maybe the first time will take you 15 to 20 minutes, but then after that, like you could probably like now I can get through a run 5 to 10 minutes if I'm not greedy. Because yeah, you'll wind up like because the doors that you go through have different glyphs on them that it's like okay if you go through this door it's gonna either lead to a boss or it's gonna lead to a certain attribute chest. And every now and then I'll see one that has a question mark and I'm like I gotta go there. And sometimes you open that door you're like this was a mistake.
I pushed the red button. That's what this. I
Yeah,
pushed the red button.
this was a mistake. Like it got sirens and a minotaur and a giant in here. I'm about to get beat down. But sometimes you win. You're like, yo, I really I got him. So I think it's worth you checking out. Like give it a run or two and see if you like it.
I'm definitely gonna play it. Like I said, I already downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. So I'd probably have to get back into the controls again because it's been a minute, right?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, that first run was rough.
Do they
I
give
was like, how
you?
did I do this again?
Yeah. Also, you don't get any tutorial or anything when you're going through the DLC. They're like they assume you still know it. I'm guessing then.
So as you pick things, you can hit square to get a video of what it's gonna be.
Hmm.
But aside from that, they're like, no, you got it.
Okay.
You're like, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't have it.
How did I activate this again? Was it triangle? No, it was it triangle? Stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Yeah. But, no, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I didn't download it not to play it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah, it'll be a different experience for you. But again, like you've done the trials before, so you'll kind of get it better than I always skip those. If I ain't got to do it, I ain't doing it. Like I said, I mainline God of War, but now I want to go back. Like I want to go and find all those dragons and all that other stuff that I skipped, because now I understand the mechanics of the fighting much better than I did before. Because I really was just button mash my way through as best as I could, because I just want to get the story. I just want to get the story. But now I'm just like, yeah, I want to go back and kill some dragons. So they did a good job, and it was free. Like because they could have like as much content as you get in it, they could have charged at least $10 or even 15 or 20. To be honest with you, because I've gotten hours out of it so far. That could be a testament to either how much content's in it or I'm just really bad at roguelikes. So one of the two. But I honestly do think you'll enjoy it. Like and again they drop little nuggets from things that happened in Kratos's first series where you're like, oh yeah, I do remember that. And he was because he's having to deal with that now that he's more enlightened. He's like, oh man, I was a jerk. Like, yeah, you were a jerk. But yeah, so again, I'm gonna be playing that a little bit more. I started Breath of the Wild up again, so I'm trying to remember how that game even works.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, thank you. Because it's the same. It's crazy because it is Breath of the Wild map, except for now there's a top tier and a underground layer. So effectively, it's the same game but much deeper. Um, but enjoying it. But I don't remember how a lot of stuff works, so I have to kind of relearn how Tears of the Kingdom mechanics work. So, but that's it, man. I'm gonna enjoy the holiday, get some good food, enjoy time with the family, unwrap some presents and things. Exciting. Or I guess I have already done that if you listen to this on Friday. So
Yeah.
it was great. So there's that. But yeah, definitely continue to tune in to us. Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursdays are typically throwbacks, but we have some interviews lined up for the future. So tune in for that come the new year. And then Fridays, just like this, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So tune into all the websites that go by our name. You can hit me up personally. I'm at Rite Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure. Happy holidays.